you kind of alluded to the staff, and reports are now that Ravens run game coordinator Travis Switzer will be hired for the Browns offensive coordinator's job. He's going to interview. They have to satisfy the Rooney Rule. This is the guy they want. He was with Todd Monken in Baltimore, so you get that. I know you're kind of familiar with him. What are your thoughts there, and what's the thought behind hiring this guy as the OC?
Yeah, I played at Akron, I think in the early 2010s, like 11 through 14. He's only 33, he's young. So this is the trend line for coordinators. You're kind of talking to Shieldhouse, who's 35. You're talking to, Adensky, who's 30. This kind of tracks. He's worked his way up through the Ravens organization, all the way from like lowest level entry point into the quality control world, offensive assistant, and then the last 2 years, and really 3 years, because when Monken came over, he started really, really like what he was providing him in the run game. Um, he's the run game coordinator. They hadn't had one of those under Harbaugh, so they made that a position for him because they liked him. He interviewed with Seattle last offseason, ended up the runner up to Clint Kubiak for that job. He's a run game guy. I mean, he's an offensive line player who developed a lot of his thought processes around the position, both on the offensive line, working with those guys, but developing comprehensive plans around how to run the football with obviously a mobile quarterback, but then at times, building things from under center, getting up under there, running 21 personnel with a couple backs in the backfield. He's done a nice job in protections. He's done a nice job, I think it seems like, in the run game. I got to dig into more of what they do protections wise to feel great about saying they were great there. I think Ravens fans would tell you at times that offensive line did struggle, but I think some of it too is like some positions that they didn't quite have the guys who were up to standard, as we can obviously attest that does matter sometimes. But it seems like his pairing of the success that they've had in the run game in Baltimore, obviously nice talent. Derrick Henry's a nice football player. We know what Lamar can do to defenses, but they're a top three EPA team in run production the last 3 years. And you don't get there by mistake. And even if you just isolate running back only carries, you can see how effective they have been getting to the second level in the run game. So it's clear the Browns wanted to highly emphasize getting somebody there who matters, and they get George Warhop to coach the offensive line, who's a bit of a mixed reputation. Listen, finding favorable opinions of offensive line coaches are really hard in the NFL, so I don't put too much stock into that, but because they kind of get blamed for things that aren't always their fault. It's the same with any coach in the NFL. But the pairing of those three and what they were able to do in Baltimore should excite Browns fans. They were able to run the ball very effectively. And then I am, curious how they build off of that attack with a less mobile quarterback between either Shador or whatever, Deshaun Watson is with his injury situation, or whoever they might bring in still. We'll see. But you should feel encouraged about the pairing of how Todd attacks pass game, which is diverse, different, attacks matchups really well with the run game stuff that I think that they'll get from the side of Switzer here, that it just gives you a better comprehensive approach.